On the top floor of an abandoned casino, we find patrolling holograms of a young woman in a dress, who will vaporize anything that enters her line of sight, all while repeating the same recording for the last 200 years. A recording of a woman begging to be let out.
Sinclair? Sinclair, I'm trapped. Please. Oh God, the security systems won't let me out. They're keeping me here. Sinclair! Sinclair! We all pay for what we've done. I'm so sorry, Sinclair. Sorry, I should have trusted you. I'm going to die here, amongst the ghosts. I'm still being recorded by the holographic system. The doors, they sealed. I can hear the other guests screaming to be let out, to let go. I came so far to be here. Now I just want to leave. Please, let me leave.
Who is this woman? Why did someone do this to her? And why are her final moments now being repeated by holograms that look exactly like her? In this video, I intend to answer these questions by going over the story of this mysterious lady and the people involved that led to the most disturbing moment in Fallout New Vegas. But first,
this video is brought to you by Raid Shadow Legends.
yeah, that's right. Your boy's a real YouTuber now. So for today, I have a special guest to tell you about all the new features added to Raid over the last year or so. That being Professor Death Knight.
Hello, students, it's me, your friendly neighborhood Death Knight, putting on my professor's cap with a lesson about Live Arena. What's Live Arena, you ask? Why, it's a new PvP mode where you can fight against other players in real time. Does that sound terrifying? Of course. But some of the best things in life are scary as heck, like Zargala, or going to the dentist.
Hey Professor Death Knight, how do you feel about the discrimination surrounding the new PvP Arena's ban feature? Seems a little old school to me.
I hate it. I wish everybody could play. Back in school, I would always get picked last. This is just like when someone pointed at me and said, "You can't even play and your bones look weird." But you know, rules are rules. So, I hope you use this knowledge you've gained here today about Live Arena to head off and do battle. Live! Make this whole Dead Bones Professor proud, folks. Class dismissed! Do we have a bell? Oh, we should totally get a bell.
For new players, you can get your hands on Stag Knight, as well as a skin for Stag Knight designed by JonTron. Just use the promo code JTSKIN before October 7th, and it's as easy as that. And don't worry if you're not a new player. You can still get Stag Knight and the new skin through in-game events. Besides, everyone likes free stuff, right? Especially when that free stuff is a legendary champion. Check out Sun Wukong, Raid's take on the Monkey King from Chinese mythology. He just made his appearance in the game, and it could not be easier to get him. Just sign in on 7 different days in between now and October 23rd, and it's as easy as that. And if you haven't started playing Raid yet, just scan my QR code or click the link in the description to get some insane bonuses. And once you're in and crushing your enemies, come find me under the name Leon Talks A Lot. Maybe we can slap each other around in a match or two. And just to get serious for a moment, clicking that link in the description is by far the easiest way to help me continue making these videos. And besides, it's free. So a big thank you to Raid for helping me pay off my medical insurance debt. Back to the video. Welcome to the Sierra Madre, a luxury casino and escape from the post-nuclear wasteland that you, Courier, inhabit. An escape preserved in pristine condition, with luxury suites and holograms to serve your every need, and protection the likes unheard of in the Mojave. But that's not all, no. Like every good casino, it's well stocked with chips. Chips backed by solid gold bars. Held in the vault, an impenetrable fortress designed to keep the world out and 2 people in, for as long as it takes to make them realize their mistake. Let me be honest, this place is no refuge. This is a tomb for people who have lived 200 years ago in a time before the nuclear wasteland brought upon by China and the US. A preserved pre-war relic set to open the day that the bombs fell, only to be frozen in time. Its opening broadcast beamed over the airways for the last 200 years, forever calling out for tourists to visit, inadvertently sending them to their deaths. This is where our story starts. Being a courier in the post-apocalypse is hard, you know? Giant scorpions, raiders, killer robots, and not to mention whatever the fuck that thing is, ready to rip you apart physically and financially, seeing as how expensive doctors and stim packs are these days. So when we heard the broadcast of a woman telling us about an opportunity to start again and turn our fortunes around, we couldn't resist, following it to a bunker. Inside we come across a radio, with a single light shining upon it from above. Stepping closer to get a look, we recreate recent German history instead.
The Sierra Madre Casino, in all its glory, is inviting you to begin again. Come to a place where wealth, excitement, and intrigue await around every corner.
Waking up, we've been transported to the lower subsection of the casino, called the Villa. In front of us appears a hologram of an old man that has stripped us of our gear and strapped bomb collars to our necks. Bomb collars that he will use to turn our heads to brain spaghetti if we don't obey his commands. Seeing as how we have no choice, we're forced to do as he says, promising to get us into the casino we've come here to rob. Something the old man has been planning to do far longer than we have. His plan is to trigger the grand opening to the casino that was supposed to take place before the bombs fell, allowing him inside. This opening is called the Gala event, and to trigger it, we're going to need 3 other captives in the same situation we're in. There's Dog/God, a super mutant with multiple personality disorder, now known as DID, Christine, an assassin that had her vocal cords ripped out, and Dean Domino, a thief, conman, and highly intelligent narcissist who has been turned into a ghoul with his flesh rotting off after 200 years of continued existence in the nuclear wasteland. He is our focus for today. And while I would absolutely love to talk to you about these other 2 characters, it's out of the scope of today's video. Besides, I got videos to make in the future. Bozo! This video is about Vera Keyes, a woman we first lay our eyes upon as soon as the old man leaves. Standing upon the fountain leading to the casino, we see a hologram of a woman in a dress. A hologram that stares silently and wards off local residents with her unnatural blue glow. This is Vera Keyes. Before the war, she was a young Hollywood star known for her roles in poorly written love films. Movies that, while not highly appraised, still drew in countless box office sales due to her beauty. One day, she was introduced to another man, named Frederick Sinclair, by Dean Domino. Sinclair was a ruthless businessman who made himself a fortune during the pre-war era. Despite recent financial losses, he always had an uplifting attitude, a man who never let his failures hold him back, a personality which Dean despised. Dean Domino was once considered to be a man that had it all, a famous pre-war lounge singer, loved for his music, and respected for his status. However, to Dean, this wasn't enough. Dean had seen the wealth of Sinclair and let his envy fester. He wanted to take it all for himself, a plan that all starts with Vera Keyes. You see, the Sierra Madre was made by Sinclair, not only as a profitable venture into the bloody business of gambling, but also as a gift to Vera, the very woman Dean had introduced him to. The second they met, Sinclair became infatuated with Vera, so much so that he decided to build the casino for her to keep her safe. Sinclair was no fool. He saw the rising tensions between the US and China and prepared for the inevitable, making the vault not just a vault, but a glorified bunker, a bomb-proof structure designed to keep anything hostile out, but most importantly, Vera safe. Little did he know, he was falling for Dean's trap this entire time. Dean, using his former relationship with Vera, convinced her to help him rob Sinclair, seeing as how the password to the vault had been set to Vera's voice. An act of love, now exploited as a weakness. But the day his plans were set into motion, the bombs fell, freezing the casino in time like the flash of a bulb, delaying Dean's plans indefinitely, at least until we showed up. Rescuing the other 2 captives, we aimed to do the same to Dean, only to run into one of Dean's greatest perks: traps everywhere. I'm talking about bear traps, falling metal bars, landmines, and shotguns hooked up to tripwires, ready to take limbs off of unwanted guests, showing us just how cunning Dean can be given enough time, something we're made immediately aware of as soon as we talk to the gentleman ourselves.
Have a seat, and then we'll talk.
Ugh. What's up, man? Damn, this chair uncomfortable as fuck.
The Sierra Madre. Beauty, isn't she? She the one who invited you here? Or maybe you didn't catch her voice on the radio. Woke up confused like some of the others. Least you're still breathing. By the way, don't get up or make any sudden motions, no matter how uncomfortable that chair gets. The cushion's just for show.
What?
Might be a bit rude, but that chair you're sitting in, it's got a shaped charge in the seat cushion. Get up without my permission. I'll blast your ass so far through your head, it'll turn the moon cherry pie red.
What?
I heard my necktie beeping. I know what that means. I'm part of this somehow. I want out of this contract. And if you put me in it, I'm not going to be too happy. So whatever's going on here, if you're part of all this, you're taking orders from me.
Who the fuck starts a conversation like that? Hey, dude, nice weather we're having. By the way, there's C4 under your balls. What the fuck, dude? By the way, these bomb collars we got on are linked. You turn my nuts into red mist, and the old fucker who put these things on us is gonna force you into cosplaying President 35.
That's an interesting clause. That's a real bad contract you have. We have.
Yeah, well, pound sand. The fuck are we gonna do about it?
All right. Looks like marriage finally caught me. I'm listening, partner. What's next, if we're death till we part?
Well, the old fucker says we gotta go to the fountain in front of the main gate, so I suggest we get to stepping.
Not leaving me much choice. The fountain, huh? Hope the hologram's still working and the battery's running strong.
Dean's sarcasm aimed at Vera's hologram really starts to make your blood boil once you understand what he's done. Even after 200 years, he can't help but insult her. Meeting up at the fountain, it's clear that God, the super mutant, knows a whole deal more about Dean than any other character trapped here.
Touched by radiation, and you choose to spend your time here. You could have just left, but you're too obsessed to let go.
I used to know a ventriloquist with more skill than you. At least he had the sense to know his own name without carving it into his chest.
Mirrors tell me my name when needed, and I have a name for you. Several. Thief, coward, showman. Radiation couldn't kill the truth, could it?
The truth, buddy, is this. You and me were now family as long as we got these bow ties on. So watch your mouth, you don't scare me.
Now with the whole squad rolled up, we get into position for the grand opening, aided by the old man. A switching station with levers for the mutant, a computer terminal for the assassin, and for Dean, a pair of wires he has to hold together. The simplest task.
So, this is where I'm supposed to put on the show. Played better venues, let me tell you. What's that there? Wiring? Looks like it's tied to the sound system in the villa, except for that snipped section there. So, what? I stand here, hold the two ends in my hands and tap them together like cymbals?
Yeah, pretty much.
Look, I strike up the speaker system. There's going to be ghosts all over this place. Any change in the sounds around here? The ghost people are not big on talking. They are big on listening. Hunting, killing, more vicious than music critics, trust me.
Listen, man, I know it sucks, but we don't really have a choice, remember?
In the middle of town here, alone, on a rooftop with a big light show in the air? Tell you what, why don't you just give me one of those space-age cosmic knives so I can slit my wrists, be less painful checking out that way?
Fine. I go down there and I kill every single ghost person I see. Will that make you happy?
No, you want to know why? Because there's more beneath the streets, in the buildings, and everywhere else. They hear anything out of the ordinary, especially music screaming through the speakers when I close the connection, they'll be here fast.
Man, you think our situation's gonna be a lot better? You don't deserve special treatment, Dean. So by God, hold those two wires together before I throw you off the very roof that we stand on.
You're full of it. You kill me, we both die. You wouldn't dare. So you leaving me here? No dice, not going to happen, and nothing you can say will change my mind.
I don't need to kill you, Dean.
What? What are you talking about?
I could just break both of your legs.
You wouldn't. You need me to strike up the sparking chords there. Breaking my legs isn't any way to get me to dance.
Dean, if I break both of your legs, you can't go anywhere. Out here in the middle of Ghost Central, just waiting to be found and ripped apart by the locals. Now, is that how you want to end up? Or are you just gonna hold those two fucking wires together?
You wouldn't. No, yeah, you would. I would, if I thought you screaming wouldn't attract more of the locals. All right, I'll stay here for now. But you leave me high and dry, make a run for the Sierra Madre, you'll pay for it, I promise you.
While this may seem ruthless on my end, I think you'll agree with this decision once inside. Something only moments away, with Dean and the rest of our crew in place. Now sat atop a tower, overseeing the villa, we flip the switch, activating the gala event, opening the Sierra Madre for the very first time since its construction almost 200 years ago. As the gate swings open, us and the other captives rush inside to get away from the ghouls swarming the villa, only to once again be knocked unconscious via gas expelled by the casino's security system.
Damn, this perky got me feeling quirky, dog.
Waking up, we see Vera's hologram walk up the stairs of the lobby, almost guiding us. We also notice that all of our friends have been moved by casino security. God to the kitchen, Dean to his theater, and Christine, the assassin come to kill the old man, to Vera's room. Here, the story starts to make more sense. Wandering the halls of the suites, we come across multiple guarding holograms of Vera Keyes, repeating a voice recording of Vera, begging to be let out of her room by Sinclair, moments after the bombs fell. Sinclair is no fool. He saw the war coming, and he could see a plot to betray him when it was formed right in front of his eyes. He knew that Dean and Vera were plotting against him, and in revenge, Sinclair started to plot on his own, planning to trap Dean and Vera in his vault for all eternity. An eternity to contemplate how their greed got them there, and how it was their downfall. But when he heard Vera's confession on the other side of that door that fateful night, he regretted his actions. Vera never loved Sinclair. She was only pretending in order to rob him and his casino. This wasn't always her plan, however. As the date of the robbery inched closer and closer, Vera started to ponder if her actions were the right thing to do in her position. After all, it wasn't Vera who came up with the plan. That title goes to Dean. Once Vera started getting cold feet, Dean wouldn't have any of it, blackmailing Vera to go through with the plan. You see, Vera had secrets she was hiding, most notably a terminal illness that would, eventually, claim her life. A terminal illness with pain she solved by using medics. We know it as morphine, a powerful opiate used for its pain-killing effects that also give the user an intense feeling of safety and comfort. This feeling is something that Vera had been getting used to, something pre-war Hollywood would have frowned upon and newspapers would have eaten up. Knowing this, Dean twisted Vera's arm to get what he wanted, something revealed in Dean's blackmail tape.
Pretty as a picture.
Dean, I didn't hear you come in.
I'm not wearing my dancing shoes, so I walk a little softly now. What? You think I was a Chinaman, come to cut your American throat?
Dean, about tonight, I don't know.
You don't know. I ask one simple favor of you, and you tell me no.
I didn't say no. I just said that I don't think...
You're right, you don't think. I don't need you. I'll send you back to the farm, worse off than you were, because you'll have seen the Sierra Madre and had to let it all go. I could have gotten any leggy dame out of Hollywood to get out here and play Sinclair's heartstrings. You just happened to be the one I caught, and it was really your own fault, a little too much into the chems and meds and... Oh, shh, don't cry. Look, I'm not trying to hurt you. Just one last little job, a little All those other horror tapes, they'll go away.
Of course, Dean.
Dean is a repulsive human being. What's even worse is that in the script notes for this line, Dean's lying. He'll never stop using her or the blackmail. A man so consumed by greed that he threatens to send her back to the rural farm he brought her from, and to ruin her career by exposing her morphine addiction. Still, Vera was never cut from the same cloth as Dean, leading to her confession as the world would fall apart around her. Feeling remorse for his vengeful actions, Sinclair would try to undo the trap set for Vera and Dean, but it was too late. Instead dying while attempting to manually convert the trap into a safe haven for Vera. Sinclair's body decomposing on the set of pipes right outside the vault. Vera's fate wasn't much better. After realizing that the world had ended and that she was trapped in the Sierra Madre, Vera did the only thing she knew that would make her comfortable in her final moments, choosing to go out on her own terms by taking a lethal amount of medics. This is how we find her, sat in her chair, still wearing the dress she would have used for the grand opening, surrounded by empty needles. On the wall, a final message from Sinclair. A message to let go of her greed. Despite the deaths of Sinclair and Vera almost 200 years ago, this story isn't quite over yet. Dean still lives. Although his body is a rotting husk, his mind still remains sharp and full of greed. Greed that would keep him at the Sierra Madre, unable to move on from his ultimate plan. Greed that made him threaten Vera with blackmail. Greed that made him betray Sinclair, and greed that has led him here, to the very theater he was scheduled to play at, the very place he won't leave alive.
So you showed. Felt the collar start kicking again as soon as the elevator doors rattled open. Think you're going to upstage me here at the Sierra Madre? I don't think so. Now that I'm inside, well, I don't need you anymore.
Yeah, we'll come down and get some, scumbag.
You think I'm the bad guy here? I'm not the one slapping bomb collars on innocent folks and flicking the switch. And I'm not stabbing you in the back. I was facing you all the time. This heist, I planned it lifetimes ago. You and that old man, tourists. Time for a little show. I'll just grab a seat and watch how this plays out from backstage. Security can handle it from here.
Hey, Bozo, the collars, remember?
No, the collars. I know what happened now. Sure, mine activated, but it feels different, the electronic tap dance inside. I can kill you and still make it out while security is busy frying you to a crisp. Hands are clean, then smooth sailing to the Sierra Madre.
Okay, yeah, hold on. Just for 1 second. Yo, Elijah, I'm in real deep shit down here, dog. He knows he can kill me, bro. What the fuck do I do, Elijah?
I don't know, man. You're kind of fucked.
Yeah, well, how are you gonna get out of here,
Way I figure it, you'll try and run for the exit. And only I know where the key is. And where the safest place in the whole theater is. Backstage. You're trapped down there, and you couldn't shut off the speakers, unlock the doors, or cancel security if you tried.
Head backstage, destroy every speaker, grab every key, and disable the security. Sounds like a plan.
What? What now? Try and come back here? No, you belong out in the audience. I mean, not like, you could get backstage. That key you snagged, it won't work.
I'll see you soon, Dean.
Of all the... Where the hell are those stupid holograms already? Even if you get back here, you won't live long, trust me.
Still, getting to Dean is going to be a challenge. Disabling the speakers that trigger our caller is as simple as shooting them. The hard part are the holograms. As mentioned before, these holograms are invincible. No ammo type nor explosive will hurt these guys, so shutting them down requires a bit of creativity. In Dean's office, we find a recording of him singing, a recording that can be played at the theater's projector. Doing so will project a hologram of Dean singing his song, joined by other holograms of spectators cheering him on. What this also does is disabled the security, leaving the backstage wide open for Dean's last stand. Dean has a lot to answer for: the betrayal of Sinclair, the death and blackmail of Vera Keyes, and lastly, the mutilation of Christine's vocal cords, replacing them with Vera's so he could get inside the vault. His planned trip will be cut short though, something we're going to make sure of after we confront him about his actions, blackmail tape in hand.
All right, you're resourceful, I'll give you that. It's going to take a lot more than juggling keys and shooting speakers to stop me. As I see it, all I need to do is kill you, then make a run for the exit. You do the same, you'll be clawing at the lock until your head blows off. So, maybe you and I should have a little chat, just like we did when you first waltzed into town.
Well, don't you have the key?
Lucky guess. You sure about that? Because if you make a mistake, well, Sierra Madre's got us both.
Well, now I definitely think you have it, scumbag.
All right, look. I'll hand it over, I promise. No need to get all upset. We can both come out ahead in this.
Fuck are you waiting for then? Fork it over.
Look, I give you this key, and there's nothing to keep you from just killing me and running. And as I see it, I just gave up my ace in the hole. So the only chance I've got left is making sure you don't leave. And there's no way in hell I'm letting you get to the Sierra Madre vault instead of me. Not after all this time.
200 years. You could have adopted children, started a family, reinvented yourself. Hell, you could have gone to the strip and continued singing, and yet you choose to stay here. God was right. You really are a greedy son of a bitch.
I waited an entire lifetime, sitting in that villa, watching it all fall apart. Sinclair's Sierra Madre towering over everything, untouched. Then you show up, thinking you can just take it all from me, you and the old man running the show. I planned all this. I made it all happen, not you.
Let's dance, mutant man.
I can take a chump like you, even if I didn't have 8 lives lined up behind me and a rising soundtrack. So, put your dancing shoes on. Let's go. Dean Domino, entertainer, singer, thief, had his last show on the Sierra Madre stage. The heist he spent over 200 years planning fell apart, just as the first, by underestimating his partner's strength. Not long after the courier left the villa, the lights in the theater shut off, one by one. Only Dean's hologram remained on the stage, singing silently to an empty room. Still, as consumed as he had been with its riches and ruin, the Sierra Madre had held him captive long ago.
Don't forget to use my Raid Shadow Legends link in the description or scan my QR code to get some insane bonuses for new players and an epic champion. Thanks.